Welcome to another episode, everyone. In prison, you must attack the OG booty bandits immediately, or they will indeed tamper with your backside. Yes, so says this individual. Every prison is different. Prisons in different states, the politics are different. For example, in California, this sort of practice is indeed disallowed. Not to say that certain transgressions have not transpired there in prison. However, on the level 4 yards, this is disallowed. But there in the Texas prison system, apparently, this is allowed. We've covered individuals saying that they're in Ferguson and other places, and here we're speaking about Red Onion, that individuals have gay people as their cellies and everything else, and that these people are accepted on the yard, that they walk around with their cellies and do whatever, and they're not to be confronted, particularly if they're of certain stature on the yard. So if they're shot callers or whatever else. Individual relayed a story how a shot caller walked up with his girlfriend right there, and it was just accepted. This is not accepted in the California penal system. Check this out.
You got a lot of booty bandits. I'm talking about
What?
predators. You dig what I'm saying? So all that minding your business and just following the code, that's gonna get your butt. That's gonna get your ass taken.
Wow. You got a lot. Prison Stories 101. Shout out to Prison Stories 101. He said you got a lot of booty bandits and you're going to get your, oh, wow. See? That's what I'm sorry. It's not happening like that. It's not happening like that in Cali. Not like that.
Yeah. How did the cars work for Red Onion? Like, was it based on state? Was it based on how?
Kenyatta Uhuru. That's his name. Kenyatta Uhuru. Uhuru means freedom. Freedom now. Kenyatta Uhuru. Okay, so he's asking about the cars. I'm interested to know how the cars work in Red Onion as well. You know, in California prison system, you have the Crips, you have the Bloods, you have certain Crip cars within inside of the bigger Crip faction. You have certain blood sets and sections within inside of the Blood faction. It's all over the place, and there is much division, even within your own section. So I'm interested to know myself how the prison system and the cars work out there in Red Onion.
Okay, so the time period that I'm in there, I got into the state system in 01. So for at that time, you had a bunch of old heads who had been in there at the time that always talking that old back in the day shit. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, back in their days and the way that they was carrying it, it was divided up based upon regions. So you had the Tidewater car, which made up of 7 cities and shit. You dig what I'm saying? Them 757 niggas. They deep as shit. Then you had the Richmond, the Richmond car, them 804 niggas. They just as deep as the Tidewater niggas. Those 2 cars pretty much, you know what I'm saying, had it inside the state. Then you had Northern Virginia, which is where I'm from. They just...
Man, okay, so they got different cars. They going by the states. Richmond, Virginia, they going by the states. They got cars from the states. I wonder if they getting into it with one another and harming one another based on the state that they're in. I guess it's better than just representing a section within the state. But it's all division. Nevertheless, I'm just wondering what's going on with Kenyatta's beard. The stuff right here on the side of his face, on both sides, it's like. Something's not right. Hell, the whole thing right on his chin too. What is this? And under his chin, right?
Associate us with, they always associated us with DC before there was the concept of DMV. Before that whole concept, that shit, I came home to that concept. You dig what I'm saying? But in the state system, they already considered us that. You dig what I'm saying? And then Then you had Lynchburg, you got Roanoke, you had all these other cities that, they exist, they matter. They just didn't have the numbers like these other areas. You dig what I'm saying? It was really, it was the introduction of blood that broke down those divisions and those barriers, man, and brought everybody together.
That's real. I gotta ask you, what prison politics probably surprised you the most when you got to? Let's just keep it with Red Onion. Like, what was anything that surprised you as far as you expected to run one way, and it's going a whole different way based on the politics ran inside there?
On that Jones, see, on the land and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was disorganized, reckless, and it was no real structure, like literature and knowledge, and like that shit don't exist. You know what I'm saying? But what when you get there, you don't belong to yourself no more. A lot of things that you hear, a lot of things that when people enter into these gangs and shit, they hear it. But it's not real to them yet. And to me, that's what I'm hoping to bring to this shit, is that there's a realness that exists in all this shit that people be missing out on, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people live in their goddamn head, man. They shadow boxers, man. They shadow box and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they done convinced themselves that is this and is that. Life operate a little different, man.
Yeah, now speaking of,
I don't know what the hell he just said. Someone's going to translate for me in the comments. I don't know what he's talking about. I think all right. Okay. So he's talking about the cars inside of prison, though. Let's get back to that.
shadow box. Let's get some perspective. You got active, damn near day 4. As far as your bid. For you personally, how active do you have to get? Like, how many fights, how many situations did you?
I can't count that shit. I can't count that shit.
Can't count it. You just put the fingers down. As far as from the ones you remember, probably what was the most pettiest shit you feel like you had to get active about, if you can recall?
Man, I ain't gonna front, man. In my younger years, a lot of that shit was petty. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit was petty. Like I at some point, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna tell you this. It's something that I struggle with right now. I struggle with it, hard. I was saying mental health and everything about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really a product of prison. And being on the streets right now, it really, bring clarity to that fact. But I am a product of prison, and I'm the great white in prison. So like, you know what I mean? That's the best way I could put it, man. Like,
Okay, and by great white, I guess he means great white shark, the most biggest, the most vicious of them all. It's what he means when he says that he's a great white. So he says that he's a product of prison. I understand that. Wish he would elaborate some on exactly what that means for him, that he's a product of prison. He says that he's a product of prison out here in society. So I'm assuming he means he's trying to adjust to society and that he carries some of the same sentiments or protocols that prison offer out here in society. Many individuals do this. We had this conversation just the other day here on the channel, where individuals, some of the things, when they have been in prison for a long time, and a long time is subjective. It's based on your own interpretation what a long time means. It can be 2 years or 20 years. But when they're in there and adopt certain behaviors inside of prison in order to survive the experience, then they carry this with them into society, these same rules, if you will. They continue not to like snitches, etc. So perhaps that's what he means when he says that he's a product of prison out here in society. He's not really elaborating. I guess but he did say earlier that this is what he wants to bring to everyone. So I suppose he has a podcast, or will be having a podcast soon. Kenyatta Uhuru.
So they look at prison like, either you're predator or you're prey. Either you're food or you hunting. For you, did you wake up on?
Nah, but that's not true though. That's not true
Okay,
though.
yeah, go speak on it.
That's not true. See, the secret to the feds, not the state. State a little different. The secret to most places you go to, it ain't about how tough you is. It ain't about nothing, man. That shit about principles. It's man law. And that's what I learned inside there. When you scrape away all society, when you scrape away the government protecting you, when you scrape away all this bullshit, man, all you got left is man law. That's what you got left is man law. And if you live by man law, the smallest, weakest nigga can go through prison with no problems ever. Your problems come when you don't know who you are and you step inside a lane you ain't supposed to be in. That's when your problems come. If you know who you are and you stay true to who you are, you won't have no problems in prison. That's in most prisons. Like I say, you get up to like the red onions and all that, man. Man. Listen, man, you gonna have to put that work in, Slim.
Yeah, you live with the problems. Like shit.
I would agree with some of that. I mean, there are individuals there in prison who, because as I've said here on the Inside Story with me, Damian Porter, please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. As I've said here many times, respect is the number one thing there in prison. It is indeed the number one rule. I'll say this until I stop breathing, because you all need to understand the importance of this rule. You must respect everyone. So he's just explaining that if you do what you're supposed to do there in prison, when you strip away all of the protocols, all of the rules, and you just govern yourself with man laws, just have a moral compass, mind your own business, etc. Don't get involved in certain things, then you will survive prison. As he said, there are weak individuals, or more cowardly or scarier type of individuals who have been able to survive prison without a scratch on them, or having to put a scratch upon someone else for any reason, because of the way that they comported themselves right there in prison in real time on the yard. And then you have individuals who are very prone to violence and who are tougher than the aforementioned. They did not make it. They had all of the tools. You would think it would be the reverse, that the aforementioned did not make it, but it was them that did not make it because of some of their indiscretions. So it is going to be based on how you carry yourself there on the yard.
You gonna put that work in, man.
Let me ask you.
You got them. That's predators. Like that's something else that the feds may not know, and a lot of state niggas don't know. But in Virginia, during them years, you got a lot of booty bandits. I'm talking about predators. You dig what I'm saying? So all that minding your business and just following the code, that's gonna get your butt. That's gonna get your ass taken. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to have some teeth, man.
Yeah, there's always they always say there's a fear, again.
Okay, so maybe scratch everything I just said. And what he just said, which is that if you carry yourself in a certain way and follow the rules, then you'll be okay. Now he's saying that, he said Virginia, so I suppose Red Onion is in Virginia. You all let me know. Red Onion prison. I only know about all of the ones in California. I am thus learning about the others. I've heard about Red Onion often, actually. So it's Virginia. He said anyway, back in Virginia, back in those days, I'm assuming he's still referring to Red Onion, that, as you just heard him say, there were a lot of bandits there, and just minding your business and just going along to get along can get your backside taken by one of these bandits. That's not going to be enough, that you just are comporting yourself in the right way and staying out of trouble and staying out of business, staying out of everyone's way, staying out of everyone's business, doing what you have to do in order to program and then come home. This individual here, Kenyatta, is alluding to the fact that back then anyway, he said, in Virginia, there were a lot, emphasis on a lot, of bandits. That's just sickening, disgusting even. And he said you had to have some teeth in order to make it. So meaning that you had to have some grit, some moxie on that yard, or these dudes would try you. 1, 2, 3, 10 of these dudes at some point would try you because the yard was imbued with bandits. So in that case, you know what you have to do. Someone approaches you and with malintent, take their face off, set an example immediately. Even if you're scared, just swing as hard as you can, do the best you can, take this dude's face off, and then they'll never bother you again.
And, you know, people in the free world who ain't never did no prison time, they always have that fear of like, nah, you're going to get violated. You know, there's a bandit waiting for a soft nigga to come through.
Out there.
Yeah, I'm saying it's overstated. Out of all the prisons I've been through and shit, you know, that was only
in
true.
Virginia.
That was true in Virginia. High levels. Yeah, that's some Virginia shit, man.
See?
That's some Virginia shit. In the high levels in Virginia, that shit real, man. But from most niggas I talk to in other states, like, they carry the way they do in the feds. That's frowned upon as it should be universally. But
Freaky Virginia say it ain't so. Oh, man. The man was there. I don't want to hear it. He was there. He said this is how it was going down. Only out there in Virginia. That the yard was suffused with bandits. Man bandits. Beauty bandits. Protect yourself, people. Stay out of there, first of all. But should you go, crack one of them upside the head, you won't have that problem again. That's it.
Something about Virginia, man, that shit different.
Yeah, so
it's interesting. That most people I talk to that did Fed time, they say the moment you get in, someone's handing you a blade, or someone's gonna get you some protection. You're gonna have a knife on. And that's all it is, knife play in there. Like, it's
if you online, and depending on what yards you in, I'm gonna say that too. Like, if them niggas that's coming inside, any nigga that's coming on any of these little recordings, man, it's about, I got to know what region they in, bro. Cause you got to know what region they in. It's like if you go anywhere in the Southeast region and FCI's on down. I wasn't in the USP in the feds. I can't speak on that. But that's another lane too. I appreciate that difference the way I appreciate the difference from, you know, max and super max in my state system compared to them lower levels. But FCI's on down. If you was anywhere in the Southeast region, it don't, that's a whole, they conversation should be different. You dig what I'm saying? Anybody can go there. You don't need your paperwork right. You don't need no knife. You all right, man. You gonna be all right over there, man.
50-50. Talking about some 50-50 yard PC type stuff then. You don't need your paperwork. If you don't need a knife, that's fine. Not all prisons like that are super violent like that where you just have to carry a knife on you. Probably still be best though. Just for protection. Regardless of where you're at, just be safe. But he says they don't even have to get your paperwork at that one place. You can go there and not even show your paperwork, meaning they don't even know what you're in there for. You can be in there for something against a child and still be able to function and survive there on the yard then. So that's a PC yard. He's talking about 50-50 yards. So. But there you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Out there in Virginia, it gets a bit freaky. The yard is full of bandits. And you have to go in there and hold your stuff. You have to go in there and protect yourself, he says, to paraphrase, in order to protect yourself. Stay out of there. Just stay out of prison, people. It's not worth it. And he said there was a lot of OG bandits in there, and they would try you. He was saying just in Virginia, but it probably has not even subsided that much. Individuals in prisons that have these sort of problems, they don't just evaporate or dissipate. They remain. Though it may have slowed down some, I would surmise, it's just conjecture on my part, that this prison there still entails some of these problems. Just stay out, particularly if you're there in Virginia or you're at risk. Stay safe and stay free, people.